Yo, what's up, bros? What's up, sis? What's up, YouTube people? And what's up to the 2K community? It's your boy Parquet. I'm about to show you guys how me and my boys run the Beast 3 formation, okay? Shout outs to my boys, Ramnell SS, BX Killer 173. You could add these guys, they're really solid players anytime you guys want to get a few wins. Alright? So this is how we run the Beast. First of all, let me explain to you how the diagram works. You see here, the dime will be the point guard. Thomas Jefferson here will most likely be the shooting guard. George Washington, or the quarter, is your big. The tails means that these are the defensive players for those prospective positions. This cute, beautiful thing here, beautiful penny here, right, would be the basketball. Okay, now to start off, the Beast formation always is ran this way. It always starts off like this. The point guard stands at the top or in the middle of the floor, and the shooting guard will be at the corner of the 3-point arc. Okay, and the big will be at the elbow or at the corner of the key. All right, fair enough. Now, the Beast 3 is supposed to be an isolation play. This is the isolation version of the Beast, or this is the isolation version that we run in the park. So what the shooting guard needs to do is, the shooting guard drops down in order to create more space for the point guard. So does the big, but the big doesn't drop down all the way here. No, he'll drop down midway between the elbow and the baseline on the key. So I'll show you guys why in a few. This guy, point guard, will razzle and dazzle. If he beats the guy here, you can cut in, right? And usually this guy Ramnell is pretty good at a point guard. Also, just on a keynote, you need to have a good playmaker in order to run this play as well. This is why it runs so good with us, because we have a good point guard who makes good, solid decisions when he has the ball. So if this guy, let's say, picks him off, he can always pass it to this guy, BX Killer, who's pretty solid at playing the shot creator position. I'm not going to tell you why, because I'm not going to disclose all the details on how he plays his game. That would be unfair to him, wouldn't be? And then if this guy picks him up here, let's say, this big here, he will pass it either to the big or to me, who is also a very solid post player. So now let's go back to this. If, let's say, none of that happens and we're still in formation and we're still here, right, on the Beast, which already we have created the ISO. The big is already in the middle of the key. The shooting guard is on the corner of the 3, right? Now what the shooting guard is going to do is he's going to swing underneath the baseline, right, while this guy chases here, right? The big then stops him, cuts him off with a screen. Now this play will not work effectively if the big does not set that screen. That screen is what determines, is what makes the Beast 3 work. That screen there, because it's going to create a space for this shooting guard for a pass. Now at the same time, if we see that this doesn't happen, then what happens next is the point guard has this option here to have the weak side of the floor with one man. So it creates another isolation for the point guard. This is all the point guard's isolation, right? So then this is, he's here and he's razzling and dazzling and doing his moves. At the same time, the big has the option to cut in if he wants. And if that doesn't work, or let's say that the players that you're facing against switch and do their rotations like they're supposed to, the big is going to be on the 2 guard, right? And then this small guy that I picked off is going to be, or the big picked off, is going to be here with him, right? So what the big needs to do, he comes out here slightly to try to set a screen here. You can either set the screen here or you can set the screen here. So the 2 guard can run through the screen and curl. So then the 2 guard will curl through the screen at this point, right? This guy is going to most likely be here, or he's going to be on the floor if you have a good big man. I recommend playing with a big that is a glass cleaner or post scorer, because these guys have or can obtain the brick wall badge in Hall of Fame, and that is just brutal once these guys get hit, because I could knock this guy over here and then it's going to leave him exposed to this guy. So after this happens, I come over here into position and this guy cuts off. So now this guy has to either pick him off or me off. He has to pick off the two, or he has to pick off the big, right? Creating options for the point guard. So the point guard will either pass it in for the shot, or either pass it to the big for mid-range. Now, if he passes it over here and this guy picks him off also as well, the two guard has an option to pass it over here. Pretty simple, right? You create plays on almost every side of the court when you run the Beast 3. Now, real quick, before I bounce, this is how you run it again. Let's get back information, guys. Remember, the big, you got to be here in the elbow, buddy. And then shooting guard, bro, you have to be here at the corner of the arc. And, of course, the point guard runs in the middle. Say Beast 3 or Beast under. Guy drops down here. Two guard drops down there. The big drops down in the middle. The two swings. Gets picked off. Point moves this way.